Last time on the Titans of Alterra.
All around you is a bustling city of light.
Whoa.
And there are hundreds of people.
People? Human people?
Actually, they all look to be orcs. Once the platform reaches the bottom, you find yourself faced with about a dozen orcs in glowing armor, all pointing glowing magical hand crossbows at you.
Winnie puts both hands up in the air and she goes, "Hi."
Yes, this is unfortunately going to be a very tough fight. They have the numbers and they have the experience. We have two things going for us right now. One is our ranged attacks. The other is our cavalry. Joan,
Yes, Captain.
I would recommend that you and your Sturden stay...
Sturden.
Yeah, get
I'm
it
sorry,
right, Captain.
Sturden. If the orcs come in the morning, flank to the east and come out of the sun. If they come in the evening, flank to the west and come out of the sun.
She turns to Greytree.
They
We're going to
at
come out
night.
of the sun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Titans of Alterra, a 5th edition actual play for gamers of all ages. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Joshua. Going on the table, we have...
Joan.
Delphin.
I see what you did
You
there.
look so excited.
I see what you did there.
Oh.
I'm Dolphin.
Winnie.
Relnor. All right.
Why you rubbed him?
I wanted to get in on it.
Okay.
It seemed like fun.
You
You got in as the butt of the first joke.
Wow, thanks.
You got in the first butt, Josh.
From one butt to another. All right. So...
No, Ricky was the other
The
butt.
gang's all here, and we're gonna jump right into it.
It's utter chaos.
We are.
What else is new?
His face is scrunched with so much humor and anger.
We're gonna jump to Winnie.
That's his normal face. Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, I guess.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do we annoy you during the show?
Oh, not that much.
That's not an answer.
What's higher than 10?
Enough.
That's not an answer.
3.5.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know.
Probably 2, 3.5, 2, 1.
It really depends on the day.
I want
Right
the
now.
jury
The more
to
you
note
ask
that
me,
I
the
was
number's
one.
going up because I want to get
Yeah,
into
well,
the
you
story.
won't give me a number, so I'm at a 10 right now.
Okay. All right.
Shooting for 10.
We are
Shooting
going to
for 10.
start off, as always,
Shoot for 21.
during this whole multi-story arc with Winnie.
Yay!
Now, Winnie, you've been down in this little room for about 2 days.
Are they feeding me?
They're feeding you, and the food's great.
Where are the
bathroom?
bathrooms?
Thank you.
You're given water. If you
I have been able to use the facilities, gentlemen. Thank
if you ever need to use the facilities, they escort you to with a couple guards.
It's nice. I haven't made any friends, but I've tried.
You haven't. No one's really talked to you or approached
These
you.
people are boring.
Wait, so they're just planning on keeping you forever? They're like putting you on trial or anything? Or just-
I don't
Well,
know. They won't tell me.
You don't know, but
Oh, man.
you've been kept as comfortable as you can be, I suppose.
Yay.
Is there anything you do during those couple days where you're just kind of made to sit in that room and wait?
Yes.
Probably.
She builds a tower of cards.
I don't have cards.
Did they take Wilbert?
No. Walter?
Walter?
No,
Did
they didn't
Walter?
take any of her equipment. She's
They-
still.
I
The
still
names
have
are so
all my
hard in this
stuff.
show.
I guess I wanted. I mean, I keep checking in with Penny and making sure she's okay.
She actually seems more like herself now, but she seems kind of apologetic. She feels like it's her fault
Oh.
that you guys are captive right now.
I tell her it's not her fault.
It kind of is, though.
Just, but I thought we were supposed to come here, and now we're just stuck.
Well, but stuck is relative. What if we're supposed to be here?
Well, do you think we are?
I mean, how many of those things in the world do you think you can just light up willy-nilly?
Oh, I don't even know. I
mean,
didn't know I could do the first one.
I'm not telling you that you can't light up a million thingies willy-nilly, but I'm just saying it feels very purposeful. Feels like maybe there's a man in a hat leading us around the world telling us where to go.
Why's it gotta be a man?
The Red God.
Red God.
Josh. No.
Oh, crap. This makes sense now.
No. Just at that moment, as you're kind of talking to her, kind of consoling her, you hear the door at the front kind of whoosh open.
Ooh.
And
doors.
Fancy doors.
You kind of gotten used to. That's what they seem to be automated somehow.
Yeah. As it opens, I go, "No, I'm good. I don't need to go to the bathroom right now."
And there's an older looking orc that's kind of spindly and tall, wearing a long ornate robe, kind of
my bad.
looking at you like, "Is everything okay?"
It is. Sorry. I thought you
Very
were
good.
my door friend.
No. My apologies for your inconvenience having to be kept in these rooms for so long.
I am really bored. Do you have any coloring books or anything?
There's plenty that I would like to show you. I am Grafar, the
Really?
librarian. And he kind of bows.
I love libraries.
To you, that's wonderful.
I haven't seen a library in so long.
Before we go, and he kind of gestures, and out from the ground, a little stool kind of comes up from the stone.
How does it work? She's immediately underneath it, peeking, looking for gears and things.
I'll be happy to answer as many of your questions as you'd like.
Oh, right. And she stands up next
But
to
first, please, and he kind of gestures to the bed for you to sit down.
me. Okay. I'll sit
Or
down.
to a chair or something.
I'll sit on the bed.
And
My feet kind of dangle in the air.
he sits down on the stool and kind of rests his hands on either knee, and he says, "Please, we've been debating for 3 days
Sheesh.
what we're to do with you. Never before has an outsider made it into the well. Who are you, and why have you come?"
First question. Don't freak out. How do you guys light up that plinth up top?
We power. He's kind of disappointed that you're asking him a question, and he goes,
I can feel his disappointment radiating towards me.
"We power all that you see with our very being,
I thought you said all the juicy.
With your bee?
with our souls.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Each individual has an innate power within them, and we here in the well know how to access this power.
What?
It's what we use to open the door, to ascend on a lift, to raise up a stool.
That's amazing. Does it make you tired?
No.
That's even better.
The capacity of an individual's soul or spirit power is it's immeasurable. But please,
Oh, sorry. I was supposed to tell you how I got here.
I have given you my name.
Yes.
What is yours?
Winnibit Duncan at your service. You can call me Winnie for short.
Winnie. And you are a gnome.
I am. I am a rock gnome. I like this place. I have just come south from the Iron City, where I talked with Lord Aaron. I don't know if you know
of
him.
The Iron City.
And a friend brought me.
A friend.
Yes. A friend who has the same spirit energy abilities that you just talked about.
Where is this friend?
Winnie sort of gestures to her shoulder where Penny is.
He kind of pulls up a little pair of glasses and rests them on his nose. And he leans forward. He says, I do not know what you speak of.
Winnie kind of looks at Penny out of the side of her eye, and she kind of smiles at Penny, but there's a little bit of sadness in her smile. And she goes, I think she's forgotten who she is. And I seem to be the only one that can see her.
One of those. All right.
I'm not crazy.
Somehow, young one, you've attained an ability to access this ancient technology as we do.
Is it a goat?
Please, try again. And he pulls out a tablet from a sleeve.
Oh.
And he hands it to you. He says, activate the tablet, if you would.
Winnie holds it, and she kind of looks at it and looks around the room, and she goes,
and nothing happens.
no. And then she kind of like turns it over and looks at it. And then she looks at Penny and she goes, Penny? And holds it over by Penny.
I don't know. She kind of leans forward and taps it. Nothing happens.
Winnie shrugs and gives it back to him. Do you have anything with runes on it?
Runes.
Yeah, my friend here seems to have an affinity for runes.
And he turns
Makes them all glowy.
tablet around and it has runes.
Duh. Is it a rune I recognize?
I mean, probably not.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, very specific set of runes.
Show you.
Do you have a piece of paper? Here.
Well,
She grabs her spell book. She pulls it out of her pouch, and she turns to the page where she was doodling, and she's got the symbols from the sheet,
yeah.
like written down
Yeah.
in no particular order. And she's like, anything with these runes on it?
And yes, we know these symbols. They are used in many different ways. You really don't understand what you've done.
No. Well, okay, so
You were just traveling in the desert and came upon our cave.
no, that's the thing. When I left the palace in the Iron City and Lord Aaron gave me his horse, my friend Penny here could sense that there was something in this direction. And it just so happened that every time we'd look down and find a rock with the sign of your people on it, we were still going in the same direction that Penny sensed.
How do you know it is the sign of our people?
Well, given the reaction of the guards, I don't know. I have a very dear friend, and I miss him a lot, and he gave me the sign of your people. I'm
I
from
see.
Lestrade, so you can probably put those 2 points together. But he didn't tell me to come here. It's very weird how all this is coming together.
He didn't tell us of you either.
Well, I mean, he liked me and everything, but we only knew each other for like a couple days.
Very well. Come with me if you would.
Okay.
I will show you our home.
She hops down. She's excited.
This is Bertul.
Batul?
The guard. Bertul.
Bertul.
He has been keeping watch of your room.
Hi, Bertul.
And will continue to...
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much have I annoyed you over the last...
he doesn't give any physical response.
I'll take that as a 10.
He will continue to watch over you during your time here in the well.
Thanks.
But please, follow me. And he kind of gestures for you to follow through, and he puts his hands behind his back and kind of walks through. And you get the sense that most people are deferential to him. And, kids come by, they maybe their parent kind of like grabs them a little bit and says, hey, it's so-and-so, and they kind of stop and bow. And you approach the, that kind of pillar thing in the center of the
tube.
The tube thingy in the, it's a cylinder shape.
Yeah. But laying on its side?
Laying on its side, kind of.
Like a big culvert.
As you approach, you see that the kind of top part is translucent, but it has little kind of almost like crystalline kind of patterns on the edges of it. And when you look inside, as you guys get closer, you see that Bordeaux's inside. And he's got his arms crossed, and he looks like he's asleep.
Winnie just unashamedly runs up right up to the glass and puts her hand on it. She's like, Bordeaux!
And it feels cold to the touch.
And she jumps back.
He says, yes, Bordeaux returned to us. The prodigal unveiled orc. He left of his own volition,
Yeah, he never told me that story.
breaking all of our traditions and rules.
Does anyone else leave?
Only one other. But because of his transgressions, Bordeaux has been placed in stasis for a minimum of 100 years. At which point he will continue to pay out his penance by serving, and eventually, perhaps, he will rise again to the hallowed rank that he had once held.
But what good does the freezing do?
It preserves him and
But-
keeps him from the rest of our people.
Oh.
Right now, his voice is strong amidst the orcs in the well.
That's funny. He didn't say a lot when I was with him.
You will find, young one, that oftentimes a soft-spoken voice can far outreach the loud one.
Delphin knows that well.
I do not fit that description, but I appreciate the sentiment.
But here he will stay and pay the price of what he's done. And I am sorry that you had to meet him, and it led you here.
I mean, he saved me from a lot of pain.
Well, he has caused much pain. It's neither here nor there. For now, he stays. But you are here, and perhaps you would like to see the library.
I would.
Very well. So he kind of leads you on this tour of their city. And he kind of shows you a lot of the main places.
Winnie's just like flat out mouth wide open like the entire time.
And he shows you there are a couple different food courts, and there's some shopping districts.
Sheesh.
And there's but you get the sense that there's no real financial transactions ever being made. It's just a small society of orcs that are all working together. There's also several training areas where you see some of the armored orcs operating with these kind of crossbow-like things that are glowy that fire
Glowy swords
bolts of
and
light out
stuff.
of them.
Oh, sorry, crossbows. Sorry,
and,
Relnor.
You should try to
Snag one of those.
snag one of those.
And then he leads you past this very big ornate door that almost seems to be entirely glowing itself, and everyone who walks by it is very deferential and very quiet. No kids even play around it.
Very secret.
This is where we commune with the god. And
Oh.
she tells us what to pursue and how we should conduct ourselves and the nature of the well. Only those that are chosen, though, may go past these walls. This is not something you can enter. All the rest of the well is open to you. But here,
What's in the West Wing? No, Belle. It's forbidden.
Everything the light touches.
Wait, we're jumping our Disney movies.
but this is what I have wanted to show you. My true domain. And he kind of gestures, and this other door kind of slides open, and it's just this massive hall with tons of, it's got several floors and these kind of thin shelves, and they don't really hold books. They hold records. So you can,
They're like the tablet thingies, or
kind of like the tablet things, you can pull them out, and basically you can go to, there's multiple different stations where you can then input the tablet, and a bunch of text comes up.
cool.
He says, from here, there is access to all living memory, and even some beyond.
Whoa.
We
Unliving memory.
we
we keep record as far back as the Great Upheaval, after the breaking of the garden, and even some of the world of the keepers before then.
Holy cow.
Winnie's just floored. She doesn't even know what to say. Just mouth wide open, staring upwards. Oh.
It is the entire purpose for the well.
You're the coolest.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Winnie laughs.
And up here, he kind of walks you up some stairs. Or actually, let's say moving platforms. I like this.
Yeah, a little escalator
Yeah,
action.
you guys ride up some moving platforms, and he leads you to another room. He says, here is just one of the areas where we monitor and gather the history of the world.
Wow.
There are multiple orcs, some other ones in robes that seem to be kind of giving some orders, and some that are kind of at what look like desks, and there are several different screens, which look like windows to you with images passing through them.
Cool.
But they seem to be collecting information is kind of what they're doing. But it's not like pictures. Like, it's not like they can see a hill or a garden. It's just these kind of screens with symbols and glyphs that are going past them, and people that seem to be taking note of it all.
Winnie is very confused at the lack of moving parts. She like really wants there to be gears and cogs and things going on, and she cannot figure out why there is nothing of that nature whatsoever.
He kind of sees you kind of like scrunching your nose in thought, and furrowing your brow, and he says, "It is a lot to take in. I understand. And perhaps in time, you will come to know it and can find value in the access that we have.
Oh, I'm sure I can.
It has given much purpose to those who call the well their home."
Wow. Does anybody study the lore of the Erden?
The southern humans.
Yeah.
As I believe they are now known.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Theirs is perhaps some of the oldest history.
Yeah, I know. I've sort of inadvertently become a part of it, so I was kind of wondering if I could chat with somebody about it.
What is it you would like to know?
Yeah, you probably know a lot, don't you?
Indeed.
So there's this prophecy. Oh. And she kind of like looks disappointed and kind of looks off in the distance. She goes, oh, only the Erden leaders know about that.
I assure you, child, there is much we know. I would be very surprised were there to be something that the humans above know that we do not.
Okay, well, let's try this then. So there's this prophecy. Oh, and then she starts to get nervous because she can't remember exactly how it goes. She's like,
Do you want to roll a history check to see how well you remember it?
yeah, that'd be great. That's pretty realistic. How about a 7?
A 7? How much do you actually remember?
I remember that, like, the end of the world and the rising of the sun and the bringers of shade. And that I am one of the bringers of shade.
Okay, so as you start to kind of tell him what you remember, his posture goes from being very like eager to help you learn about something to being kind of disappointed again. And he says, "Why is it that you wish to know of this prophecy?"
I'm trying to decide if I want to like roll a insight check and see if he's
Sure, you can.
like, if he's like, I don't know. What do I want to know?
What could it hurt?
I want to know if hearing the prophecy made him, like if my interest in the prophecy made him angry.
Okay.
That's a 12.
Okay, you definitely sense more like disappointment than anger. He's not, and you don't feel like any of it's direct like towards you.
Yeah.
It's more just like he's tired of this situation.
That didn't take very long. Well, okay, so I've been a part of this really long sort of turn of events. So about a month ago, my friends and I, we hopped on a boat and we were under Captain Donnie Russell and we went all the way to the Gnome Island. And then when we were on the Gnome Island, we were tasked with going in these ruins where everything lit up. And then at the end, we found these statues that had the runes that I showed you in my book. And then it turned out that one of those statues was a giant goat. And there's this guy named Artemis that bonded with the stone statue. And now I bonded with my
Hold
friend
on.
Joan. And then,
Little one.
well, I'm not done yet.
Wait.
Okay.
3 weeks later.
2 hours later.
3 weeks later.
The SpongeBob time reference.
He says, this, the prophecy you speak of,
Yes.
this is why Bordeaux left in the first place. He
What?
believed that the time had come for this thing.
But what does that have to do with the orcs?
The
Oh, the end of the world. Right. Nah. Answered her own question. I got excited
And
about
you-
glowy things and I forgot.
you activated something?
I haven't yet. My friend Joan did.
Ooh. Bertul, please escort young Winnerbrit wherever she would like to go. I must see about a few things.
Wait, are you sure I can't help you? I can go. I can be very quiet. I can be very nice and very quiet, I promise.
I am.
I'm being good. I'm being quiet.
Press
I'm being
X to
Have.
doubt.
I am being Have.
I am going to have some very stern words with several of our record keepers.
Oh.
I do not wish for you to see me in such a mood.
I don't think they knew about this.
She just thinks that to herself. She doesn't say it.
Or wringing your hands.
But she does kind of smirk a little and then she's like recovers.
Please, the records are open. You may feed on any of the food that is offered in the
Or knowledge.
the food courts, and
Yeah.
there are any number of things.
Go to the Orange Julius.
There,
No, Auntie Anne's.
there are a number of things you can
Where's the Cinnabon?
do to entertain yourself. I must see about this. I apologize.
Oh, okay. And does he walk away right away?
No, he's waiting for you to like acknowledge. He's super polite. Like you get the sense he's not gonna like leave without you acknowledging.
Polite to a fault.
Yeah.
She kind of like scrunches her face a little and she's like, I'm really sorry if I've caused any trouble.
Clearly, you did not intend any.
No, but that happens a lot with me. I usually don't intend trouble and then it just sort of happens.
Better for it to have been accidental than malicious. And it will be fine. I believe you'll find the well to be a very accommodating home.
I am excited to look around. Thank you for the tour.
He's expecting you to stay there forever.
And then he kind of turns and heads off.
Oh, dang.
And it's just you and
Bertul.
Bertul.
Okay, I'm going to look up at Bertul.
He's standing there. He's not really even looking at you. He's just
Yeah.
kind of looking.
Hey, Bertul.
He looks down.
What's the name of the orc goddess?
The keeper.
Yeah. I don't think I've experienced her before. Does she have a name?
The keeper.
Oh. That's nice. So,
He reminds me of like a Buckingham Palace guard.
what do you do for fun around here?
So from there,
What's your favorite color?
we're gonna jump.
Mine's now orange.
Are there candy stores?
It's
My supply's running low.
Oh, that's probably true.
it's a late night at the Erden camp. When do you usually sleep?
Do you sleep?
I would probably
Not before battle.
I know, right?
probably like 11.
Okay.
Probably go to bed at 11 or so.
Okay. So it's about just past midnight. Both of you are woken up by the sound of a loud trumpet sounding.
Oh, excuse me.
Rut.
And yeah, so you're woken up by a loud trumpet sounding and some troops starting to move around now.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Do I know what the trumpet means?
It's a warning
Okay.
that like something's coming.
Okay.
Dun, dun,
Probably have
dun.
a pretty good idea of what's coming.
Can
Wait,
we? What?
I will
Rabbits.
wake up and throw on my uniform and grab
I'm
my
just
hand
guessing what's
crossbow
coming.
and
Okay.
grab my street service and
Yeah. So as you
good.
step out of your tent, I'm gonna say that you and Obed are never asleep at the same time. Like one of you's always
Okay.
kind of watching.
Okay.
He greets you just as you exit your hut,
okay.
and he says, "Orcs are marching.
How long until they're here?
There's probably just an hour to prepare.
Jiminy.
How much time till daylight?
Our last 2 sets of scouts never returned, and this one is the only one that made his way back."
All right. Sound the alarm. Rouse all the men.
think
Have
that's
them
what the
get their
trumpet was.
weapons.
I'm assuming you guys are kind of walking as you're talking.
Yep. Where's Joan?
Right here.
Joan, gather your sturgeon, prepare them for battle, and
They were born prepared.
okay. How's their grammar?
Great.
Fantastic.
One of them's having trouble with prepositions.
A lot of them are.
What's the preposition again?
I have no idea.
To, on, in, out,
Directional
by,
terms.
near,
Oh,
generally.
yeah.
Directional terms.
I just know it's a word. Usually
We're prepared to go and do battle over there.
and they dab.
Dab on it, dab on it.
She dabs
I
whenever they get
will
something right.
sit under my horse. No.
There will be no
On-
dabbing in
on
this
your
army.
horse. JK lol.
Lols.
Lols. Where's the battle at? No. Wrong. Don't end a sentence.
Where's the
with a
battle
preposition.
to?
Where is the battle taking place?
Get it right.
So you guys make quick work getting the troops in formation. It probably takes you about just enough time before you can start to hear the thunder of thousands of running feet.
Oh, running feet? They've been running all night?
Good.
Oh, dang. There's a wave of orcs coming.
And it's about like it's a number of orcs that pretty much stretch almost a mile wide.
Okay.
So it's and you just see them just
That's terrifying.
rushing forward. Obed goes, "It's on your call, Captain Relnor."
Erden, form up.
There you go.
Form an arc in front of the archers and the slingers.
The sling slingers. I
mean,
like
what are-
it.
What are they?
You can
What are
refer
they
to them
called?
as shepherds if you want. That's pretty much
fair
what they
enough.
all were.
Form an arc in front of the shepherds and the archers.
Okay, so the shepherds have a shorter attack range than the archers do.
Yep.
So I'm assuming you'll probably have them be
Yep.
closer and the archers further back. And then you want this in kind of an arc,
Yes.
like a half circle kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay, are you thinking like egg shape, like half egg shape, or are you thinking like half actual circle?
Half actual circle.
Okay, like a half, like a moon, like a crescent.
Like
Yes.
a swimming pool?
Okay,
And we are in front of the camp, but we constructed those like spike
yeah,
kind of things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our back.
Okay, that's behind you.
That's behind us.
Okay.
So that we're not it's not like we're up against a wall, which would be much better, but we have something at our back that they can't just kind of creep around and just totally.
Something nice for the orcs to throw you on.
And you've got room to retreat a little bit.
Yes, and we
what
can
I
pull
was
back
like-
into the camp.
Okay.
There are lit torches out in the field of battle, marking
lit,
the,
son.
marking the range that the archers can hit.
Okay.
And then more closer in,
not.
marking the ranges that the shepherds can hit with
Okay.
their slings.
Cool. As you're kind of stepping out, all the troops are kind of in front of you. They're out a ways. So as you're making your way into the forces, and Joan, I'm assuming you and your Sturden are in the back,
Yep.
waiting for the mark to kind of jump in.
You're in your goat?
Yes,
Are you in defender form or still goat form?
Right now I'm in goat form.
That's going to be so awesome. Everyone's going to be like, what? That's so cool.
And
I think a lot of the orcs would just be like, ah, and run away.
That's a big old thing.
you've got
That's what I'm banking
You've
on.
got minutes now, about 5 or 10. Do you want to give a quick speech to try and instill some morale before the first wave hits?
Erden, we gather here today not as clans or sects or groups that are different, but as one people, one force, fighting for our lives and our children's lives. Fight with honor, fight with strength. Protect the man or woman to the left or to your right. And we will survive. We are Erden True.
And you hear Obed start going, true, true. And then the rest of them start to say true, and it starts to spread out through the entire forces until they're all kind of saying true. And the sound of these thousands of Erden chanting true, along with the sound of the rumbling feet in the distance, start to kind of almost like go in rhythm together.
Enid turns to me and she goes, "It's like there's a double meaning." And a single tear rolls down my cheek because I'm so happy.
She's understanding the double meaning.
That's awesome. And then you slowly dab in her direction.
And she dabs back. Sorry for taking
I like
over
that
an
that's
NPC.
like your guys' salute. It's like not like anyway, what were you gonna say?
Oh man, that's now a thing. With the
You can do it.
Sturden. That now they don't salute, they just dab.
Yeah.
The entire
Your Honor.
people.
I like that. I like that it's a more like rigid motion and a slower motion though than like a regular dab. Like it's like a.
Yeah.
It's a little bit Lord of the Dance, a little bit dance.
It's Lord of the Dance from the waist up.
And there's a great rhythm going because you got the feet going digga 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 digga, and then the true
How far away from the
dab,
first
dab.
first line of torches are the orcs?
What's that?
need
How
a
far
techno
away from the
song for
first
this.
line of torches are the orcs?
About they're about 50 feet now.
Archers, knock.
Okay, they're knocked. They're just about at the first line of fire.
Hold.
Oh my gosh, this is happening. This is happening right now. I wasn't ready. Oh my gosh.
Loose.
And you just hear 10,000 arrows going off all along
Nice.
the lines of this army, shooting out towards this oncoming force. Even though it's dark, by the light of the moon and some of the torches, you actually start to see the little glints of the arrows hitting into them. But the force keeps moving forward strong, and they approach the second fire line.
Okay. I want to send runners to get oil to all the archers.
Okay. I'm going to say you probably have a very limited amount of oil, just because
Okay.
that's not a resource that was
you're right. Okay.
heavily gathered.
Okay. That is fine. We will skip that.
I mean, you could have some oil, but I don't think you're going to have a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Good thought a week ago.
But still, where would you get
recording
it?
a week ago.
No, I mean
like,
in the game.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about the oil, Erden. Just go find the
The oil Erden slick.
We're very slippery. We deal with all the oil.
They're the sweatiest people. Yeah. We can't hold weapons for very long.
You're never going to catch us.
Naked running around.
They are the mortal enemy of the fire, Erden.
I know. Okay.
So they get to the second line of tortures?
Yes. Yes. They hit the second line of torches.
Of torches.
You know what? I never had you roll a charisma. Roll a.
You guys, this is a very serious war episode.
Yeah, guys.
Humor.
Battle humor, right? That's
Oh,
a thing.
your phone stopped it. Move your phone. Hey, that was awesome.
What?
It was on the edge.
It was.
It wasn't
Right
on a
by-
number.
It was.
It stopped on his phone, like by his phone.
So he moved his phone
He
and it
took
rolled
his phone
to a
away
20.
and it rolled into a 20.
way.
Yeah, that was epic.
I'm so happy.
All right.
for
I'm giving your troops some serious
Technically, that
morale.
was your phone.
you are.
Technically, that was your phone's rolling, not yours. Just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Let's remember who did the work.
Take it away from him.
Your confidence permeates the entire troops, and you see no shaking in their ranks as the orcs get even closer.
Oh, so awesome.
Good. I ad-libbed that speech.
You did a great job.
It was a great speech.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't ad-lib all your speeches?
That's a very good point. That's a good point.
All right.
I didn't say I didn't. I just said that one.
They hit the second line of fire, Captain.
Loose with slings.
Who's the shepherds?
All right.
Slingmen.
All right. At this
Slinging
point,
slingmen.
if they're close enough for the shepherds to hit them, it's only like a matter of moments before they clash into your troops.
Okay.
Do you have them just stay there and wait till they hit them, or do you want them to charge out?
I want them to lower their spears into ready position and let the orcs charge into them.
Okay. All right. So thousands of orcs clash with thousands of Erden as they ram into the spears and they start to do battle. So if you were to look at it from like a bird's eye view, which you're a little ways off, so you're able to kind of see this. That kind of arc kind of bows in a little bit, until it kind of reaches almost somewhat of probably a little bit past an egg shape, almost a little flatter than that, and the two lines just doing battle start to kind of hold each other, basically in combat.
Okay.
Now, do you enter the combat, or are you staying back to kind of tell people what to do?
For the moment, I am going to stay back. I'm watching for weak points in the line, and directing forces to move up and reinforce those spots.
Okay.
So if that middle bows in a bit, we're going to push people towards the middle.
All right.
Wait, it's nighttime. What's the street doing?
Stree.
The
Voss? Streaker service.
The horse people.
Oh, the
They're
store?
holding back. We talked about that early on.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
At least that's what you guys said.
Yep.
I'm just going off of
Nope,
that
you are
meeting
correct.
that you had.
You are correct.
Cannot go from the sun.
Grey Tree is charging in with his forces.
Yeah, he is.
However, the Voss Erden are kind of holding back as well.
Okay.
So he's the only leader in the middle of the battle right now.
Okay.
He's probably a force.
He is a force.
Him and Bug.
are a major force. So you do see that wherever they are, the line seems to hold a little stronger.
Okay.
And you actually see that the line of orcs is not as deep as it may have seemed in the dark.
Okay.
I'm going to roll for their morale real quick, because you guys have a really strong line. Okay. So you start to see some of the orcs kind of pull back and break, and you see where Grey Tree is, they're definitely starting to push them back and start to create kind of a split in the enemy lines.
Okay.
And there's some other places where you see different warriors kind of advancing, and there's one point near the center where it's starting to push back weaker.
The orcs are coming through our line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, they're breaking the line.
And the Voss Erden haven't really engaged too much.
The Voss Erden have not, no.
Okay.
The fire are intermittent throughout the Yoro, but yeah.
Okay.
It definitely seems like the line in whole is pushing back against the orcs, like they're gaining ground now.
Yep.
But there are certain points that are kind of weak.
Dude, I'm really tense right now.
And remind me, the Voss, what was their specialty? Were they trained
mud.
in combat, or were they?
They're the mud people. Like they actually probably are the best at knowing how to fight on foot on the ground.
They're grounded.
I want the Voss Erden to move forward into the battle and help shore up the line. Joan, are you ready to flank?
So ready.
Take your troops and make it so.
Get them horse flanks.
Number one.
This is not Star Trek. Do not tell me to make it so.
How many of your forces are you taking? Are you going with? Half. And are you all of you moving in one place?
What do you mean by one place?
Well, which direction are you going? What's the?
We're coming from where the sun would be coming up.
Okay,
You're going to come from the east,
East.
even though it's not coming up yet.
Yeah. Then give me a fourth of my troops.
Okay.
How far away are we from sunrise?
You got the golem. Yeah, you good. Good.
You're a good ways out from sunrise.
This is why we don't tell the DM stuff.
I was planning this from the very beginning, guys.
Dang it. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that they would try and
you
attack
could
at
take-
nighttime.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take
Orcs have better night vision, don't they?
half and go
I think.
each
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
You could
Everyone has better night vision than humans.
Yeah, it's not hard.
take half your force and just start circling. So,
Okay.
like, come from the east and
the Riders of
basically,
Roma.
cut around that arc that we have, cut around the back of the orcs, and then come back around behind us again and just kind of keep
Okay.
circling.
We had talked about this at the leader strategy meeting
Okay.
because I'm smart and I was like, well, what if they attack during the night?
Yeah.
And so this is what he said to me.
Great. So that's what you do?
Do you want me to
You
repeat back
retconned it
to you?
all.
No, you're good.
I was like,
I was so
okay.
thankful for Joan's insight because I hadn't considered the possibility of a night attack.
You know,
Which makes you a pretty crappy commander.
even leaders, the best leaders need assistance. So you build the best team that you can to fill in your gaps.
And then
I
half
filled
of
in
your
your
team,
gap.
half of our
Decides
team
to leave.
decides to leave and get lost. Who knows
Okay.
where?
And learn to freaking fly.
Joan, I need you to roll me a charisma. You can choose whichever kind of skill you want it to be, but I need you to inspire your
I'm not very
your cavalry troops.
Joan, I just thought of one thing.
What?
Ride with half of them and go, and then they come back and rest while the other half goes.
Oh,
and
like
comes
a little
back and-
swoopy swappy.
Yeah.
Okay. Swoopy swappy.
Like tag team.
I'll give you advantage because you're in a giant stone goat.
Oh, thanks.
I feel like that's kind of a
Megaphone.
that's like a visible.
You got a height. You got a good lay of the land from that goat head.
I think people seeing you in combat is going to be very.
I am
encouraging.
going to roll a.
You roll 2 twice.
Yeah. Well, they're all the same. I'm going to roll a persuasion
Okay.
because I don't feel like Joan performs. She's the same person always.
Okay.
And it would be a 16.
All right. Yeah. You lead your forces out, and they are hooping and hollering. They are so excited to do
What is
battle.
hooping?
Whoop, whoop.
Are they playing Oh, I was
Yeah,
picturing
yeah.
basketball happening. I was really excited. Now I'm less excited.
They're hooping.
Not alley hooping.
So yeah, you lead your forces out around, and as you kind of get out from the side of the battle,
Yes.
your forces making that noise start to distract some of the orcs,
Mm-hmm.
and you see some of their lines start to break as some charge towards you guys. Is there anything you do as the goat golem running into this line of combat?
I hoop and I holler.
Like what kind of like attack do you do?
I know, I'm getting there. I have
Like
to
a
move
goat
my
hoop.
papers.
Goat hoops.
Have you ever seen a goat playing basketball? No. You've only seen a golden retriever playing basketball?
I haven't seen that either.
This is air goat.
I have not seen any of your goat attacks or anything like that, but do you have like a trample?
Yeah, didn't you see during
Just-
the
you're
during
in
the
a
bugs?
giant stone
Yeah, I have
goat. You
hooves.
just
You saw her
run
fight
right
the.
through them.
So I can use hooves, right?
You saw
Yeah,
her
it
fight
makes
the
sense.
bug, the giant.
Yeah,
bug.
you saw.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't looked at the sheet, and I wasn't like
yeah.
writing down what she
Gotcha,
was doing.
gotcha.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Wait, if I put my head down and I'm running through the
Oh
crowd,
my
would
god.
that be a ram
That'd
or
be
slam?
amazing.
A ram.
That's even.
Come
Can I
on in,
do
ram.
the
And welcome
multi-attack
to
because
the
it's
slam.
one ram and 2 hooves?
Yeah.
So it would be like a ram hoof.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the ram.
hoof.
That's going to be my first
just
single.
dawned on
Go ahead and roll the
Ram hoof
attack,
hoof.
and don't worry about the damage.
Because they're gonna worry about it.
Good one, Ricky.
Thanks.
Just because we're being very thematic here. I just
Turns out this orc army is made up of commoners. They all have 2 hit points.
First attack for the ram is 19.
okay. Holy cow!
That's a hit.
19,
Oh.
28.
Okay.
What do you
So
Wow.
as,
You hit all of them.
as your line of cavalry kind of comes into the battle, you put your head down and just ram through a bunch of orcs.
Do I knock them up into the air?
You knock them more to the side.
But I want to hit. Can I hit like 2 in the air?
Does it make a bowling pin noise?
You catch one and you really throw him
One
like
and a half.
real high. That's gross. So as you ram through their forces, your Stururden kind of
No.
wait.
Sturden.
Oh my gosh!
I thought she was goating through their
Your
horses.
Sturden are on either side of you as kind of a V shape as you just cut through the side of the
Yeah.
orc line.
That's cool.
Ducks.
Ducks. Like butter.
Ducks.
Like a butter cut.
And Relnor, as you kind of see the line of orcs start to be pushed back, the orcs start. You see that some of their troops start to break, like run
Okay.
in retreat.
Oh.
There's maybe like 3 or 4 pockets that are still staying and fighting. And after she does that, I think there needs to be another morale check. Okay. Yeah. About half of their forces are fleeing now. in kind of
half.
scattered numbers.
You've routed half. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Can I see,
It's gonna be over real quick.
or am I confident that this was their entire force, or was this a
This
raiding
was
party type force, and there's a bunch more over
yeah.
the next
This
hill or
was
whatever?
well less than your forces. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So then we're not going to get. I'm going to make
was
sure
a
the
lot.
command goes out to stay, not don't chase.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
So you tell people if they're running, let them run. Pull back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't pursue.
And then we're going to tend to our wounded and all
Okay.
that jazz.
It doesn't take long before
You collect your arrows.
the entire orc forces are routed, and the ones that are left run away.
They were testing the waters,
And
and they were a little goaty.
And I'm going to say several moments later after kind of that, you've got the line holding and there are men just kind of standing out there in the field waiting to see if something comes. You're tending to some of your wounded. Some of the leaders have gathered. So the four of you are kind of back together.
Cool.
Oh,
At
good. Gray tree's okay,
Yeah, Grey Tree's fine.
Oh, good.
and Bug.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And you guys are all gathered together still
Thank you
kind of
for
at
asking.
at the front, but behind the lines.
Okay.
The four of you meet up. Obed comes up to the four of you and he says, "There was about 10,000 orcs in our estimate. Enough to create an entire line, but not any deeper than one line of enemies.
Okay.
And from what we could gather, as quickly as we could, we defeated about half their number before they retreated.
Okay.
And they've taken 2,500 of our Erden.
Okay.
What do you suppose?"
I think they were testing the waters. I think they wanted to know what we had as far as defenses and numbers and see how well we fought. And I think the next attack is going to be worse.
That is what we fear. You see Grey Tree kind of like nod at Obed, like basically like the conversation's not for you anymore. And he kind of huffs a little frustrated and steps back away from the conversation. "Do you think we can take them like this? We had overwhelming odds against that force. It was 10-1, and they still killed 2,500 of ours."
Eee.
I don't know. But I think we have to try.
Wolf says, "They're just playing with us now. This Fellhammer.
Got to get all Helm's Deep up in here.
And we're just going to stand here and take it."
How do the orcs respond to their leader being killed?
"They would go into a frenzy, best as I could guess," Grey Tree says.
A frenzy aimed at us or a frenzy without much of a direction?
"It would likely be a blood rage. There would be anger and chaos. Could end up putting us in a worse place. Hard to tell."
So it's not a cult of personality.
Thinking about sending in Joan Team 6.
Oh, like after them.
I was going to say, you missed an opportunity. It was Goat Team 6, yeah.
Boo! Get off the stage.
I can't boo you because I've done that like 5 times with other things.
I probably shouldn't boo you, but I am anyway.
What happened was I was going to say SEAL Team Joan. And then I was like, oh no, Joan Team 6 is better.
Joan Team 6 is better than SEAL Team Joan.
Yeah.
But there's one
it's
that's
really,
better
it's
than both
Goat.
those.
Your
yeah.
mouth moves faster than your brain.
Yeah.
We all get that.
Where are we at?
The sun is just
What day is
starting
it?
to rise as you guys
there,
have been
boy.
kind of like
What day is it?
gathering everything and getting things figured out. As you're all kind of sitting there trying to debate what your next move should be. Grey Tree says, "He knows what our defenses are now. There were enough orcs that got back. He certainly understands what our capabilities are."
They definitely caught wind of that goat. They got a goat.
I mean, he never saw us coming out of this light, so he doesn't know all of our defenses.
That's fine.
Doesn't know what we're like in the daytime.
But he knows we have archers. He knows we have slings. And he knows we have a goat golem and the horses.
This golem can do more than you know.
Relnor raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, you and I should probably talk.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll come in the morning or if he'll come in the day.
The day.
How are we to know when the next time he'll arrive is? And right after he says that, you hear another horn blast go off. And then
Fast.
Obed comes running in. He says, "There's a rider from the south,
We get it already.
a scout. He's
Wait, why do they need a scout?
A human?
a human scout."
Oh,
And then you see some of your kind of honor guard guys escorting a wounded and battered scout.
Did this guy go out like days ago?
Yeah. He was
Dang.
one of the first groups that
Oh,
disappeared
shoot.
from the last two.
Crime and Nutley.
And he looks at the four leaders, specifically faces you because he's your Order. He's one of the younger lads that kind of held the border before the war.
Okay.
And he says, Orang Fellhammer wishes to sit with you.
surprise, surprise.
I'm very surprised, actually.
Oh, really?
God, he could just step over him. Like, I don't know why he doesn't meet.
He wants to meet. He says that he'll wait in the middle of the Worldbridge.
Very well. I don't think we have much of a choice.
And then he kind of collapses and they kind of cart him off.
He's dead.
Oh, he
have
bled
my-
on my
He's
rug.
not
He's not dead.
Okay.
You have my protection.
You have my goat and my hawk.
Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. Apologies to all of you. For
All the
fact
Dalphin
that
fans out there.
Dalphin didn't get to do anything this episode.
Part of me is dying.
We kind of were focused on the lore of the well and the war of the Worldbridge. So
Ooh, that'd be a good title.
it's a long one.
It is a long one. It's
but
wordy,
thank you.
Just like you.
Thank you so much for listening. I can't wait for the next episode and for the next couple episodes.
This has been a cool episode. I've really
So,
enjoyed it.
If you're enjoying it, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. That would
got
really
it.
help our placement out on the charts and get the word out about Titans. And if you'd like to get more involved with Titans and be more a part of what we're doing, you can help support us by going to patreon.com/TheTitanPod.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, from there are several tiers and a bunch of different pieces of content. We actually, every single week, we're producing 3 pieces of content.
Yeah.
One of which is the show. One is the post show that we record after every episode, just for our patrons. And then the last one is a retrospective that we call the Altera Autopsy, where a couple of us, usually me and Ricky, sit down and talk about the last week's episode and everything that happened.
I know I've missed the boat on this one, but I was going to say they're tears of joy.
Okay.
Good one.
Thanks. And
Wait,
You should have kept missing that.
anyway, yeah. And during the post show, Joan always likes to tell jokes. And
Kelsey tells
Looking
you.
for next one right now.
does not
Sometimes
like
we go into some lore during the autopsy. We usually answer questions and go in more in depth about what could have happened sometimes and all that. So
Sometimes we share things that people have sent us about how they're enjoying the show and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really fun. So all that said, I'm incredibly grateful, whether you support us or not, that you're just listening and
Well,
you're enjoying
listening is supporting in a way.
enjoying the show. It's definitely a big way. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
I wasn't in this one.
It was like a prophecy when he said Delphin.
I know, he
It was
interrupted
like-
me, and then it cut me out of the whole story.
And going on.
Winnie.
Relnor.
Thanks.
Damn it!
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, in a bird. I'm trying to get this little passage. Okay, I'm stuck. Maybe I should get another way out of here. Maybe I fly. It's just oh, ceiling. No. Okay. Okay. Can't use the hallway. Can't fly through ceilings. Archie.
There's a door.
A door?
Yeah.
Like a big bird door?
Yeah.
Where?
Back in the hole.
In the hall?
Aye.
I didn't see a big bird door.
The button.
The button?
And he kind of points to the right, and there's a big lit up button.
Oh!
Does it say push?
Does it say door open?
It's got a big arrow.
The button. All right. I jump on the button.
Okay, you put the whole weight of the hawk golem on the button, and the whole room starts to shake, and then two giant, like, flat doors start to spread open up above you.
The sand start pouring in a little bit.
Yeah, some different sand and dirt and stuff starts to pour in, and there's a huge, big, like...
Moon? Sky? Stars?
tunnel
Oh.
that with lights kind of like pulsing upwards towards the exit up above.
All right.
It's time.
Archimedes, onward and upward, my friend.
Let's fly.
Let's fly. Woo-hoo!